ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first edition of What Do You... a new radio quiz game. Loosely based on all the old radio quiz games. The rules are very simple. We shall ask a team of two clerics, the Bishop of Burma
Hello.
and the Deacon of Detroit,
Bless you.
a series of questions in either category, or special category. If they get it right, they get a... and if they get it wrong, they get a... from the studio audience. At the end of the contest, they will hear this. And they must stop immediately. At any point in the proceedings, they may be given a... which means that they can ask for another question. Or if they hear a... it's the fire alarm. When they want to interrupt either a or a question, they must press their special buttons. Bishop, will you press yours? And Deacon, yours. In the event of a tie, there will be a choice of either a or a from the audience for either the contestant or the... right. Those very simply are the rules. And now we are ready to play the first game of What Do You... and the first question is a... for you, Bishop. What are... oh, I'm sorry, that's all we've got time for. There's no score, so it's goodbye until next week from me. And remember, always...
Once again, the Angus Prune tune announces an invasion of the air by Tim Brooke-Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, Joe Kendall and Bill Oddie. And here, by kind permission of the London Zoo, is John Otto Cleese.
I'm sorry, I'll read that again. Again.
Just before we go on with the show, here is an urgent message. Following the robbery at a jeweller's in Regent Street last week, police would like to question a Mr. Bert Swag. To help you recognize him, he wears a striped sweater, a mask, and has a policeman handcuffed to each wrist. And now, over, as always, to a lonely forest.
Oh, Ronnie, we're lost in the middle of this dark wood, miles from anywhere in the middle of the night. What shall we do?
Well...
apart from that, Ronnie.
Oh, well, why don't we seek shelter in that old dark house behind us?
Oh, you mean the one we've only just noticed?
Yeah, that's the one. I'll ring. Next time I'll not.
Shh! Someone's coming.
Ah, Kate and William, come in. I've been expecting you.
But we're Ronnie and Ursula.
That's near enough. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. I was in the laboratory. Walk this way. No, this way with your knees bent.
Merciful heavens! What sorcerer's cave is this? What foul and hideous deeds have these walls seen? What unspeakable crimes have been perpetrated here? What manner of Stygian darkness? What cavern of iniquity? What bottomless depths of human degradation? What Hades? What satanic palace? What Plutonian cavern? What fiendish, hellish pit is this?
It's the dining room.
Oh, Ronald, I'm afraid there's something terribly hideously evil here.
That would be me, I expect.
Who the devil are you?
You've heard of the infamous Baron Frankenstein?
Yes?
Well, I'm Bert Smith. Your coming here was no accident. Did you hear a strange, unearthly voice calling to you? Calling.
Now you come to mention it, we did.
That was me. I was locked in the laboratory.
You mentioned Frankenstein. I know what you're doing in this lonely evil house. You're making something, aren't you?
Don't change the subject because I'm in a horrible mood. Hideously horrible mood.
Quick, Ronnie, run for it!
stopped you in your tracks, didn't it? A Pekingese can get pretty nasty when it's fed on black pudding. Now sit down.
Look, take me, but don't harm Ursula. She's unsullied. Well, fairly unsullied.
But it's her I'm after because she's a woman, like that female Potter that came yesterday.
Female Potter? How awful. What did you do to her, you fiend?
Pinched her plasticine.
Plasticine? Why?
To make a false nose for the thing which sleeps under the shroud of my eerie contemporary settee.
Ronald, look, he's making a woman. Look at those hands sticking out under the shroud, and I can see the outline of her knees, and those 2 bumps mean it must be a woman.
Yes, it's Daisy.
Daisy?
Yes, those hands, knees, and bumps are Daisy. Yes, my pretty, I'm making a woman. A beautiful woman. Already I've grafted onto her several bits I've taken from living people. Eyebrows from that old WVS bird, my landlady's toupee, and now, my dear, I'm after a bit from you.
Which bit?
Your false eyelashes.
You monster! Why don't you just get married like everyone else?
I am married. What do you think is under that sheet?
Not.
Yes, my wife. Look.
Good Lord!
Yes, she's pretty hideous, isn't she? Even with my remodeled plasticine nose. Perhaps I should have put it on her face.
But she's so still. Is she? Is she?
Yes, she's stoned out of her mind on mid-stout. So I'm seizing this opportunity to do a bit of renovation.
You poor soul.
Ah.
I've misjudged you terribly. Here, take my false eyelashes.
Thank you.
And my moustache. And my wooden leg.
Thank you so much.
And my artificial arm.
Thank you.
My false teeth.
Thank you.
My plastic kneecap.
Thank you.
My glass eye. And here's my spectacles.
Ursula! Ursula! You never told me you wore glasses.
Since John Cleese's rendition of the Rhubarb Tart March a few weeks ago, Rhubarb Tart has been sweeping the country.
Missy?
And the Rhubarb Tart Marketing Board is now proud to announce their new scheme. All over the country, pretty girls will be knocking at doors to see if you are eating rhubarb tart for breakfast. You'll easily recognize them by their distinctive costumes. They'll be dressed as rhubarb tarts. Last Tuesday, the members of the Grand Order of the Rhubarb Tart held their open-air rally in Trafalgar Square.
Brothers, in the beginning about 6 years ago, in the 4th year of the tyranny of Philip Harben, there was a great rumbling in the stomachs of the land, and there was no rhubarb tart. But even as they wept, there appeared before them a poor pastry cook, a follower of the great prophet Fanny Craddock. And he was called Angus Prune. Hallelujah! And he said, listen, and I will show you the recipe for eternal happiness.
How? Show us!
Take unto yourself 2 packets of frozen shortcake pastry.
Yes.
Mold it as if into the shape of a bowl.
Yes.
Leave enough aside to make, as it were, a lid.
Yes.
Chop up 3 ounces of fresh rhubarb.
Yes.
Put them together, sprinkle with sugar, and cook for 40 minutes in a medium oven until crisp.
Yes.
Take it out.
Yes.
And you know what you've got?
No.
You've got rhubarb tart.
Have you?
Yes! Well, if you feel bad when you got the blues, you don't take drugs and you don't take booze. There's just one thing mends a broken heart, and that's a slice of rhubarb tart. I want rhubarb tart. You gotta get a little rhubarb tart. Well, you need rhubarb tart. I want a rhubarb tart. Yeah. Well, if you got a gal that you want to win, now here's what to do if she won't give in. Hold her close and turn out the lights, and slip her a great big juicy slice of rhubarb. Yeah, give her a rhubarb tart. You gotta love your for rhubarb tart. Wow, what she wants rhubarb tart. Yeah. Now do you all know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And what do you think of rhubarb tart? Do you all want rhubarb tart? Yeah. Do you all need rhubarb tart? Yeah. Well, will you sing with me then? Yeah. Well, berry pie is quite all right. But I want rhubarb every night. I want rhubarb. Rhubarb top. Now let's hear you now, rhubarb. Rhubarb top. Let rhubarb. Rhubarb top. All together now, rhubarb. Rhubarb top. Well, mama's little baby loves rhubarb, rhubarb. Mama's little baby loves rhubarb top. I want rhubarb. Rhubarb top. I want to tell you about rhubarb. Rhubarb top. Rhubarb. Rhubarb top. Hey, rhubarb. Rhubarb top. Hey, rhubarb. Rhubarb top. I want a whole mess of rhubarb. Rhubarb top. I want rhubarb. Rhubarb top. Great fun like rhubarb. Rhubarb top. People dinner like rhubarb. Rhubarb top. And John Cleese like rhubarb. Rhubarb top. Baby has no stand rhubarb. But I'm mad for rhubarb. Rhubarb top. Well, everybody gotta get a rhubarb tart. Yeah!
I'm sorry, I'll read that again. Deals with the supernatural.
I'm super.
And I'm natural.
Oh, bother.
Deal with you.
Promise.
We shall go dabbling in the occult.
Come out of there, you'll get your feet wet.
And we shall look at the unexplained.
Why?
I can't explain that. So let's make a start with astrology. Now, a simple form of astrological prediction can be found on the pages of any woman's magazine.
Daphne was trembling now as Nigel slid his fingers over her milk
No,
white.
not that page. Page 52. Shall we look at that? Yes, it's the horoscope. Tonight we are pleased to have Miss Clairvoyant with us, on and off, and she will tell us about astrology.
Oh, yes. Now, of course, a lot of things depend very much on the date you were born. For instance, your age. Each person is born in a lunar period of a cycle known as the zodiac, and each period has characteristics which can be interpreted from the natal sign as represented by symbolic figures.
And you've got all this from ancient folklore?
Oh, no, from the colour supplements. You see, each person has an animal sign. Like, if you were born in early April, you'd be a ram.
I don't quite follow.
Well, take me, for instance.
No, thank you.
I was born in January, so I'm an old goat.
Now I'm beginning to understand. Well, let's see. I'm September the 7th.
Oh, well, that means you're a Virgo.
I see. How much can you tell from my sign?
I'm surprised to see a Virgo making a sign like that.
Yes. Well, what about my daughter, March the 9th?
What a funny name.
No, that's her birthday.
Oh, well, yes. Now, yes, indeed, she could be a girl. In fact, more than likely. And very often Pisceans are sympathetic and honest, or they might be arrogant and deceitful. She could be extremely intelligent or fantastically stupid. Tall or short, black or white. Was I right?
About half, yeah.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
Miss Voyant, before we get rid of you, perhaps you could give our listeners a few horoscopes for this week.
Yeah, well, of course, this week the planet Venus is passing through the sign of Aquarius, whilst Mars is already in the angle a long distance to the natal sun of Sagittarius before the spring equinox, and it will be in conjunction with Jupiter in the sign of Scorpio.
And what does that mean?
Scattered showers over Eastern England with sunny period in Wales.
Now, let's turn to hands.
Jawohl, have a good day, mein Herr.
No,
Tun das Widerstützel da oben und drüben ein freundlich war.
No, hands.
Oh, sorry.
I went off to the fairground in search of legendary gypsy fortune teller Salome Sandwich. There's no one better qualified to talk about hands. She's got 3. I spotted her by the wrestling booth.
Roll up, go 4 rounds with the goldfish and win a bearded lady.
Salome Sandwich?
Yes,
Good heavens, but last time I saw you, you were a woman.
yes, well, you've got to be versatile in this game. Hang on whilst I slip on my yashmak. Whoop! The things I do for money. Now, come into my tent and I'll read your hand. Sit by me and imagine I am Salome Sandwich, the beautiful gypsy fortune teller, seductive temptress of men, irresistible siren of the Orient, the most luscious and desirable of women. Are you imagining?
Yes, what can you tell from my hand?
You've got a remarkable imagination.
Salome.
Call me Fred.
Fred,
Yes, thank you.
We want to know... We want to know about fortune-telling. Look at my palm. Can you read it?
Yes, it says knitted in Shetland, size 6.5.
Shall I take my gloves off?
Yes. It'll help if you take your gloves off. Oh, yes, now. Well, of course, each hand has this telltale pattern. You see, this here is the lifeline, you see, this one. And this is the love line. And this is the Piccadilly line. And this is the clothesline. Oh, and this tells me you're going on a long journey.
What's that?
That's the shipping line.
Oh, I thought we cut that line.
Yeah, I wish we had. And I'd also say you had a nasty experience in early life. I can tell that by looking at these two fingers. What happened to the other two? No, don't tell me. I'll have to go. I'm due on in the wrestling booth in a minute.
Have you got a crystal ball?
You must be joking. No, you can't get them nowadays. I have to make do with a plastic football, you see.
Well, go on. Gaze into it, then.
Oh no, I feel silly.
Please gaze into it.
Oh, all right. Oh, plastic football. What do you show me? I see a figure. A small, dumpy figure with a pop art waistcoat and long blonde hair. It's World Cup Willie.
What's he doing there?
He needs the publicity.
Can't you tell me anything, you stupid, simple-minded little fellow?
Yes, in a few moments, a certain person not very far away is going to get a fistful of knuckles in his ear hole.
And he was right. He came round 3 days later, but I was out. So much for horoscopes and palmists. And now we get to the exciting bit. Did you enjoy it? Good.
And now for spiritualism. Spiritualism is the art of making contact with the dead. It's rather like radio. 20 years ago, the greatest living authority was 82-year-old Professor Prune. We called up the Spiritualist Guild to ask if he was still alive. Hello, Spiritualist Guild?
Yes, good morning.
Could you tell me if Professor Prune is still alive?
No, I'm afraid he's dead. Would you like to speak to him?
4 years later, we called back and got a list of well-known spiritualists. Now, probably very few of us know that many celebrities are interested in spiritualism.
I don't know any. Oh, neither do I.
But there are. And we have with us now two old friends, Armand and Delilah Menace.
Would you believe it?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Now, as we all know, these two are loved and adored by all dumb animals, though the wise ones can't stand them. But what we don't know is that Delilah is also a medium and is publishing a book on her psychic experiences. Isn't that so?
Yes.
Delilah and I have just returned from studying natural seances in Serengeti.
Yes, Armand and I have been seeing things in the jungle.
Yes, both of us necromancing in Serengeti.
I was often carried away by the tribal music and the tribal chieftains, and I joined in the native trances.
Here on the film, you see the natives' camp.
Look at them frolic.
And here, you can see the African bush.
In fact, it's not the only one, but this is the very bush where I was possessed by an African guide and had my first spiritual experience.
That doesn't mean what you think it means. It means something absolutely filthy.
But look, here comes a huge bull elephant.
Aha! Look at his two fine tusks and his four massive legs.
And his three terrifying heads.
Oh dear, I fear Delilah is having one of her turns. I think she's going to be psychic. But wait a minute. Behind the elephant, I can see a pair of antelope.
And I can see the spirit of Genghis Khan hand in hand with Florence Nightingale.
A rare sight in this part of Africa. But who is this come to wallow at the water hole?
The ghost of Lady Jane Grey.
No, an African warthog.
It's Lady Jane Grey.
It is a warthog.
Look at her frolic in the muddy waters.
No, but see, at this moment, Delilah glances up at the sky and remarks,
There will be a great rending of the heavens, and the clouds shall be torn asunder, and the sun and the moon shall weep with blood, and there shall be a rushing of wind and a crashing of thunder, and all the skies shall tumble to the earth.
Ah, sure enough, it is beginning to rain. We return to our camp, and so, as dusk draws in over the hills, the banshees stir abroad.
Get off, you bloody banshee!
The sun sinks down, and Delilah floats up, and we finish our day truly elevated by the spirits of the jungle.
2 gins and I'm away!
Good night.
Well, no program on the supernatural would be complete without some creepy music. So take it away, Creep.
Meet me in the churchyard, Nellie, round about the midnight hour. We can be saucy and sinful tonight, 'cause 1 or 2 wrongs make a pagan right. Granny is strangling her chicken to sacrifice under the moon. Soon we'll be sharing a tomb for 2. Me and you, a tomb with a view. So meet me in the churchyard, Nellie. We'll have a black wedding tonight. Oh, greet me in the graveyard, Nellie. Promise that you'll be my goo. Daddy's a vampire, so you better hide. It'll all end in tears if he kisses the bride. So chase me round the churchyard, Nellie. I'm in a necromantic mood.
I could eat you.
I'm crazy for you. The corner of love. I wanna witch you. It's burning with love. So meet me in the churchyard, Nellie. We'll have a black wedding. We'll have a black wedding. We'll have a black wedding tonight.
From time immemorial, there have been witches. White witches.
Good evening.
And black witches.
How do you do that?
Of course, these days, not many women are witches, even if they look like it. And we're getting rather fed up with making wrong guesses. But to end our survey, we want to hold a séance here and now.
Before your video.
And so if there is a witch who could help us in the audience, would she please come forward?
Any witches?
Is there a witch in the house?
Any witches?
Any witch?
Ah, and we've got a charming old lady crawling up to the microphone now, who looks like a witch if ever I saw one. Now, tell us, love, how old are you?
I'm 374. Come next full moon.
374, isn't that marvellous? Now, let's give her a big hand. Here, you can have one of John's.
Oh, thank you. I'll eat it later.
Now then, love, you're a witch. And tell us, love, are there still a lot of covens?
Oh, yes, Wilfred, yes.
Of course, people used to burn witches, didn't they?
Yes, but it's much better now that they've got electric covens. Can I open the box now?
No, well, love,
What?
we want to hold a séance. Now, are you a medium?
Oh, yes, I'm a medium.
I've always wanted to strike a happy medium. Now, during this, we want absolute silence from everyone, except the audience.
We shall convene with the devil. We shall question the spirits. We will probe the depths of hell. Sit round the table in a circle.
No, we can't.
Why not?
It's a square table.
Yes, well, never mind. Dim the lights, and now keep absolutely quiet. Shh. Do you hear music?
Yes.
Good. I thought I was imagining things. Now look straight ahead and all join hands. Have you done that?
Yes.
Good. Here we go, round the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush. Enough. Now, anyone not got a chair?
Me.
Well, you're out.
Now I must introduce you to my assistant, through whom the spirits will speak to us. Gentlemen, this is Ophelia. Oh, yes, she may be beautiful, but she is also evil and wicked.
Great.
The devil has possessed her.
Lucky devil.
Ophelia will sit at the head of the table, and we will try again.
Right.
Turn down all the lights. Oh, spirits, spirits, hear our call. Come to... There are evil thoughts in the room.
Get off.
Quiet, we're not getting anywhere.
Speak for yourself.
We need more atmosphere. I shall speak magic verses.
Do that.
It was a dark and windy night.
And two men stood on a bridge.
And two men. And the moon is full of light. The spirits are stirring. And the owls are hooting. And the owls are hooting. Speak to us. What have you to tell us?
That was a tawny owl that I recorded on a common in
Quiet! Everybody look at Ophelia. She's away. She's making contact with the other side. She's shaking hands with someone.
But there's no one there.
Yes, there is. He's invisible.
How do you know?
Can you see him?
No.
Well, there you are then.
Now she's getting up. She's pointing to something. Yes. Look at the window.
Good grief. Curtains.
No, behind them.
An aspidistra.
Yes, and hanging from the top leaf a bat. A hideous black bat. Look at that gnarled old face and those beady little eyes.
It's the spirit of my mother-in-law.
How do you know?
I'd know that face anywhere.
I think it's trying to talk to us. Yes. No, it's no good. I can't hear.
Speak up, you old bat!
It's changing. Before our very eyes, it's changing.
What into?
A dinner jacket.
It's grotesque.
Why?
It doesn't fit.
If there is a spirit possessing that bat, it will answer us by knocking.
Yes.
So one knock for yes.
One knock for yes.
And two knocks for no. One knock for yes. Two knocks for no. Is there a spirit among us?
No.
Are you sure?
No.
You mean there is?
Yes.
Do you want me? No. Do you want Ophelia?
No.
Or alternatively, yes.
Do you mean yes? Or not?
That's not a spirit. It's at the door.
Yes, look.
It's open.
There's somebody coming in.
A huge, terrifying, faceless creature.
Hello. Tim Brooke-Taylor, John Cleese, David H. Graham Gordon, Joe Kendall and Bill Oddie. I arrest you for the kidnapping of an Indian fruit bat from the London Zoo and also for telling innocent people a load of old rubbish about a subject what you know nothing about.
Guilty. It's true.
I must also warn you that anything you say may be taken down and used in Round the Horn.
Oh, any bow.
And with the Angus Prune tune, we end another edition of I'm Sorry, I'll Read That Again. Those taking part were Tim Brooke-Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, Joe Kendall and Bill Oddie. The scripts were by John Esmond and Bob Larby, Peter Vincent and David McKellar, David Hatch, Eric Idle and Bill Oddie. The songs by Bill Oddie and the music was provided by Dave Lee with arrangements by Leon Cohen. The show was produced by Humphrey Barclay, and that's it until the same time again next week, when John Otto Cleese will come to the microphone once again and say...
Hello, microphone.
I'm unscrewing the end plate now. Steady, steady. 1, 2. Damn. Third one seems to be stuck. I can't move it. Ah, got it. God, that could have been nasty. Had to put a lot of pressure on her. Not to worry, though, she's still ticking away. Up you come, my beauty. Top plate is off. It's clear, and she's still ticking. Thank heaven she wasn't double fused as I expected. Just reach in now. Disconnect the terminals from the battery. And we are home and dry. She stopped. She stopped. Sergeant, keep everyone down. Coming out. The right thing stopped.
Right, cut that. Oh, that was very good, Dirk. Okay, print that one. Fine, fine. How did that feel, Dirk? It sounded very authentic. Okay?
Felt it. Thought thing was going up any moment. And with the Angus Prune tune, we once again light the fuses under Tim Brooke-Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, Joe Kendall and Bill Oddie. And here, not with a bang but a whimper, is John Otto Cleese.
I'm sorry. I'll read that again. Again.
Well, it's hello and welcome to Kensington Gardens on the first historic day of the Dwarf Olympic Games. Here in the shadow of Peter Pan, it's the patter of tiny feet. As far as the eye can see, it's dwarfs. Yes, dwarf upon dwarf. And first, for a description of this morning's opening ceremony, David Trollman.
And what a day of ceremony it's been, from the moment when the American diminutive Earl King staggered onto the track with a lighted match brought by several million dwarfs from the nearest Greek restaurant, from the moment when he held the match aloft and fell into the Olympic flame, or when the British team came marching in, all under one trilby, to the stirring music of Rip Van Winkle and his Pixieland band, and there's no music like no music. From early on, it's been quite a day.
Yes, but a bad day for British medal hopes. Not one of our athletes has managed to climb the rostrum to receive a gold medal. And of course, our low jump champion was run over by a garden roller and is now too tall to qualify. But now for some detailed results, over to Kenneth Wollstonecraft.
And what a day for British dwarfs. We've already won the putting the marble, tossing the needle, and the hop, step, jump, skip, hop, and jump, with a new record of 1 foot 4 inches. Our own little Robin Goodfellow has won the three-legged race, all on his own, just ahead of 3 one-legged dwarfs from Silesia. Half a six-legged dwarf from Croatia was disqualified as being not so much a dwarf, more of an insect. Jack the Mannequin.
And finally, news of a sensation in the walking event. The Indo-Cuban imp won the race easily, but when they unwrapped his long beard, he was found to be riding a bicycle. Well, that's it from the Dwarf Olympics, but remember the proud motto emblazoned on the flag that flutters so proudly high above the stadium. Half an inch, half an inch, half an inch onward.
Was a street musician quite renowned throughout the land. Though he had no barrel organ and he didn't lead a band, he only had a piccolo to charm the stranger's ear. But when he raised it to his lips, this is what you'd hear. Play little piccolo, funny little piccolo. Play little piccolo man. To gather money from the little girls and boys, he'd pocket all their pennies and then make this awful noise. And for a little extra he would teach them what to do, so when he played his piccolo they could join in too. Play little piccolo, funny little piccolo. Play little piccolo man. The piccolo man's not with us now. It's really very sad. I know we'll miss his merry sound, so happy and so bad. I heard him say, I must admit I cannot play a note. So I took his little piccolo and stuffed it down his throat. Oh! Play little piccolo, funny little piccolo. Play little piccolo, play little piccolo man.
All right, girls, stand at ease. Now, the headmistress has brought it to my attention that there has been a serious breach of discipline. One of you girls has been seeing a lot of a young man. A young man athletically built, with dark hair, sleek and soft to the touch, deep and seemingly sincere blue eyes, with a warm, friendly dimple on his masculine aristocratic chin. As you all know, here at St. Teresa's it is forbidden to fraternize, and neither may you meet men. Remember our school motto emblazoned on your breasts, those proud words of Horace, intacta, intacta, indubitum est. Someone of you, someone I thought I could count on, has been seeing, let's hope it has only gone this far, has been seeing this young man. When you all know it is forbidden. But worse than this, somebody has betrayed a trust, has broken a bond between two young people. And this was worse than breaking rules. This was betraying trust. I am easily betrayed, I know it, but I am quick to forgive. If this slip of a girl, this brazen hussy, this contemptible netball player will give me her word never again to see darling Roger, I will take no further action. But if she will not, then I will have no option but to have her expelled. Think of me in this as one who has loved not wisely, but too well. Only to find myself betrayed by a younger girl. The love between a man and a woman is something noble and mature. What this child offered him is not worth considering in polite society. Well, Cynthia, do you own up or do I scratch your ruddy eyes out?
People will tell you that the great thing about good riding is the silent communication between man and horse.
The great thing about good riding is the silent
communication between man and horse.
Thank you, but it's not true. It's not silent at all. Take show jumping, for instance. It's quite simple, really. They just talk to each other all the way around. And now we join Tim Brown-Windsor on his horse Radish as they are about to enter the ring.
Come on, Radish. Let's get in there.
Look, stop digging me in the ribs.
Sorry.
Come on, you just had lunch. I'll start me on good time. Now, have I got everything? Noseband, blinkers, rider. Yeah, I think so. All right, let's get out there.
Thank goodness for that. Please, Radish, don't play me up today. There's the bell, come on.
Look at this mud. No, I'm not getting out in this. I've got new shoes on.
Please concentrate. The first jump is coming up.
Oh, stop panicking. It's a very easy one. I think I'll do it with my eyes shut.
Please, Radish. Please, here we come. Huh? Right. Good. Now it's the triple bar next, so watch what you're doing. Huh? You nearly had that one off, you great idiot. You're on the wrong foot.
Look, it's all very well for you. You've only got 2 feet. I've got 4 to choose from.
Stop chattering and get a move on.
Oh, what's the rush? Is it against the clock or something?
Yes, it is.
Sorry.
Here's the next one. Huh?
You might have warned me about the water.
Sorry.
How am I supposed to know it's there? I'm soaked. No, this is too much. No, I refuse to go on. I'm stopping.
Please don't. I promise you that there's nothing on the other side of the next one.
Well, I've only got your word for it. Jump off. I'll walk round and have a look. Could be a minefield.
Don't be ridiculous.
Look, apart from anything else, I don't like the look of those bricks. Are they real?
Of course they're not.
I hope you're right. I don't want to stub my hoof.
Please, come on then.
Oh, all right.
Up! Well, that wasn't bad, was it?
I suppose not. Hang on. What's this?
It's a perfectly simple gate.
Well, get off and open it then.
It's a fence. You have to jump it.
Oh, how ridiculous. You'll have me jump indoors next.
Stop fooling. Up! Good. Now, it's quite a long way round to the last fence.
Oh, well, I'll tell you a joke then I heard in the stable this morning. There was a gelding, a stallion, and a mare.
Save your breath. This is the last one.
Can I say hook this time?
No, you can't.
Spoil sport.
Up! Great. We did it! We did it!
We did it? I like that. Time now for another very boring song from Bill. I've got the shortest legs in the business, Oddie. He made it up himself.
I first met her when she asked to join the trad band. I encouraged her, which may seem strange to you. She had no legs or hips, but you should have seen those lips after playing trombone for a week or two. Then one day I got back home and found a message. She carved it on my banjo with a knife. It said, I feel insecure and I'm tired of being poor, and I hear Bob Dylan's looking for a wife. That's why my baby's become a folk singer. I can't seem to find her no how. Well, she sings of being free, but I wish it weren't for me. Well, there ain't no use in looking for her now. So I called her and said, yeah, times they're a changing. So I got amplified and turned to rock. And the thing she really dug were my pickup and my plug. Cause when we kissed I gave an electric shock. And then one day she came on all authentic. Said electricity was just commercial trash. And for 27 nights I couldn't even use the light. And I had to do my cooking with a match. Oh, well, my baby's become a folk singer. I can't seem to find her no how. Well, I told her from the one, and she's ready, steady, gone. Oh, there ain't no use in looking for her now. Well, she's even been out working on the railroad. She's collecting work songs for her repertoire. She started drinking beer, she's got muscles way up here. Ain't that taking authenticity too far? I think so. Still, I guess you know I'd really like to find her. And I've tried, but it seems it just isn't on. Well, I don't think it's fair. They all hide behind their hair, and I just can't go around peeping through each one. That you, honey? Well, my baby's become a folk singer. I can't recognize her no how. Oh, which one can she be? They all look the same to me. Well, there ain't no use in looking for her. There ain't no use in looking for her. Ain't no use in looking for her
And now the moment you've all been waiting for.
The end of the show!
Come back with us now to merry England in the Middle Ages. It is early in the 14th century.
About 7:30 in the morning.
Look, do I have to go through this every week?
Yes, and again on Saturdays, 12 o'clock just after Saturday.
No,
Don't miss it. It's the funniest show
I've
since
had enough. I'm sorry, but somebody else can do the serious bits. I'm getting fed up with it.
Oh, come on, you're ever so good.
You're just saying that.
No, honestly, I think you're fabulous. Say some more, go on, say some more.
No.
Oh, go on, I'll give you a kiss.
No.
Go on.
All right.
Good.
Let us return to the depths of Sherwood Forest to meet the greatest outlaw of them all.
Yes, let's.
In days of old, when men were bold and spent their time in doing good, there lived in Sherwood Forest a man called Robin Hood.
I didn't know you could sing.
Over now to the outlaw's hideout.
Where are you? Robin!
Why, Maid Marian, what are you doing here?
Oh, Friar Tuck, you caught me unawares.
I never touched them, madam. But this is no place for a young lady, let alone an old bag like you.
Friar Tuck, I'm looking for Robin. Do you know where he is?
I think he's under the greenwood tree.
Oh, good, I'll go and find him.
I should wait till he comes out then. And that's Robin now, yes. Here he comes.
Why, if it isn't Maid Marian, come here, you lovely creature.
Oh, stop it, Robin. She'll get jealous. That's Maid Marian over there.
Ah, so it is. Me, let us sit down on this mossy bank. I'm exhausted.
Why so?
I've been hunting bear all afternoon. And I'm frozen, I can tell you.
Robin, I've heard that there's to be an archery competition at Nottingham, and a prize of 500 golden crowns will go to the winner.
Well, we all know who's the best archer around here, don't we?
All right. Eleanor Gabriel.
What's all this I've heard about an archery competition?
'Tis true. There is an archery competition, and Robin is going to win it.
Oh.
The trouble is, I'm wanted by the sheriff. Cheeky thing. I shall have to go in disguise. Otherwise, I shall be thrown into prison.
Oh, no, no.
Eleanor Gabriel, run along now. Run along. We have work to do.
Aye, all right, Robin. I know when I ain't wanted. No, it ain't fair that it ain't an old man like me. No. Some folk, they ain't got no respect for my grey hairs.
Poor old soul, we only keep him on out of cruelty.
Robin, do you think you can win this archery competition?
But of course, my dear, but I shall need a new bow.
Why?
My hair's such a mess.
What was that?
I think I bust my corset.
No, look. It's a message with an arrow attached.
What does it say?
Made in Japan.
No. No, the message.
It says, here comes Will Scarlet.
Robin!
Odd socks, it's Will Scarlet.
Robin, there's a stranger in the wood.
What's he doing?
He's hunting deer.
Is he really, Ducky? Did you recognize him?
Yes, it looked like Sir Angus of the Pruhoon.
Sir Angus of the Pruhoon. This is our chance. We shall ambush him, take his clothes, then I shall go to Nottingham, disguised as Sir Angus of the Pruhoon, and win the archery competition.
But you don't look a bit like Sir Angus.
That's all right, he doesn't look like me. Now then, let's gather the outlaws. Little John! Little John, Little John, Little John!
Yes, Robin?
There you are. We're going to ambush Sir Angus of the Brooke-Taylor.
Goody gander. I'll go get my quarterstaff.
Why haven't you got a whole one?
Well, we're rather short-staffed.
That is no excuse. It's not even a joke. Oh, well, I'd better fetch my arrows and quiver. On second thoughts, I'll quiver first. Right. Come, lads.
So Robin and his merry men did hasten through the green wood, and there they did prepare to trap Sir Angus of the Prune.
Well, Friar Tuck, is everything ready for Sir Angus?
Yes, it is, Robin. We've rolled Little John across the road to block his path, and Will Scarlet is hiding in the bushes.
Don't tell me he's torn his trousers again.
No, Robin, we're all going to lie concealed, and then when Sir Angus comes along, we'll surprise him.
How?
We'll all jump out wearing false noses and sing Happy Days Are Here Again.
Good work, Tuck. Tuck, good work. And here comes Sir Angus now.
In Nottingham there lived a maid, sing a foldy-roldy-do-do, and she was mistress of her art, a Willikins, Warlikins, rhubarb tart.
Hold hard there, Sir Angus. Get off that horse.
Oh, I'm not riding a horse.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's a water buffalo.
But why are you riding a water buffalo?
Oh, it's quicker than walking.
Be that as it may, you're coming along with us. Tonight you shall be our guest of honor at a banquet under the greenwood tree. You'll enjoy it. We're having water buffalo.
Oh, but aren't you going to rob me?
Wait till you get the bill. But we want more than your money. We want your clothes.
My clothes? But what will I wear?
Don't worry. I'll lend you a suit of homespun Lincoln green, which we make ourselves.
How do you make Lincoln green?
Give him a dose of castor oil.
You unprincipled rogue. The Sheriff of Nottingham shall hear of this. He listens every week. He and I are very close. In fact, he's probably even closer than I am.
Yes, the sheriff is a greedy old miser. Think of all the tax he gets from the peasants.
Well, he needs something to keep his carpets down. Anyway, he's not all that unfair to the peasants. He only takes 50% of their corn.
So that's where he gets his materials.
And so next morning Robin Hood, disguised as Angus of the Prune, together with Maid Marian, set out for Nottingham.
Sheriff, it's me, Grimbling, your faithful bailiff. Oh, Sheriff, I bring you grave news, sir, grave news. I've ridden day and night for the last half hour to bring you this news. Robin Hood has arrived in Nottingham disguised as Sir Angus of the Prune for the archery contest.
Robin Hood here in Nottingham. You have done well, Grimbling. Here, take this tennis racket for your services.
Thank you very much, sir.
Robin Hood at last in my clutches. Grimbling, have him brought to me, dead or alive, and preferably both.
But, sir, he's too wily.
He may have been too clever in the past, but this time, Grimbling, you mark my words.
10 out of 10.
Thank you. This time, Grimbling, he will not grasp so easily through my slip. This time, Grimbling, I have a plan.
A plan?
Yes, I have a plan. I have a plan, Grimbling. Yes, a plan.
It's got a plan.
Yes, Grimbling, I shall set a trap for Master Hood, and he will walk innocently and unsuspecting into it. Then, when he's in my trap, do you know what I shall do?
Shut your trap.
Careful, Grimbling.
And so they came from far and wide to Nottingham that afternoon, to find out which among them was the best shot with a bow and arrow, leg and spoon.
Ah, well, Grimbling, there seems to be a good crowd here for the tournament.
Yes, sir.
I say, what's that going on over there?
That's Morris dancing.
Yes, I've been a little worried about Morris.
Yes, sir. Wait a minute. Look, sire. Over there. That's him.
That's who?
Robin.
Robin who?
Robin the Rich.
Why?
To give to the poor.
How do you know?
I recognize his legs, sir. I know those legs anywhere. Those are his legs, all right.
Don't bandy legs with me, Grimbling. Now come along. If all goes well with my plan, Robin Hood will ride no more. He'll have to walk.
Nasty.
Here I am, Marion.
Oh, Oh, I didn't recognize you. That black patch over your left eye was a brilliant idea.
Yes, but I'm not so happy about the black patch over my right eye.
Oh, Robin, are you sure we'll be all right? I don't feel safe.
Don't worry, my dear. You're with me.
That's why I don't feel safe.
Shh! The contest is beginning.
My lords, ladies, and gentlemen, please silence. Here is the result of the first competition of the afternoon. Sir Otto of Wensleydale, who consumed his arrow with butter and jam in 30 seconds exactly, is named the winner of this year's Eton and Arrow match. Be that as it may, the archery tournament is about to commence, so kindly take your seats and put them on the chairs provided. Each contestant will fire one arrow only, individually at the target, and one at a time and no more. Any contestant firing more than one arrow is a dirty cheat. The target shall be at 100 paces, not more than 50 of which shall be backwards. And the winner shall receive 50 pieces of gold. Very tiny pieces of gold. The first contestant is Sir Richard of Tewkesbury.
What a terrible shot!
Yes, darling. Hold still, I'll pull it out.
Thank God.
The next contestant is Lord Ulrich of Finnehalf-Mjøgnø.
Where did that one go?
Straight through Friar Tuck's hat.
But Friar Tuck isn't wearing a hat.
Oh, dear.
And the next contestant is Sir Angus of the Plume.
Oh, it's your turn, Robin. Good luck.
Thank you. What are we aiming at?
That big target there in front of the castle.
What castle? oh, well, here goes.
Right in the bullseye. You won, Robin. Oh, Robin, I could kiss you.
I say steady on. Well, I better go and collect the prize money from the sheriff. Excuse me, are you the sheriff?
No, I'm a deputy sheriff. Yeehaw! If you want the sheriff, he's over there.
Ah, yes. Sheriff, I have come to claim the prize money.
Not so fast, Sir Angus.
Oh, all right. Sheriff, I have come to claim the prize.
Sir Angus, before I give you the money, I must ask you to look at what I have in this casket.
But it's ticking. What is it?
Open it and see.
What shall I do?
Take the
So you hesitate, guards? Arrest this man?
But why?
Because I know that you are Robin Hood.
Wrong, Sheriff. I am really Angus of the Broon. Disguised as Robin Hood, disguised as Angus of the Broon.
I don't believe it.
'Tis true. The man who called himself Sir Angus, you will find tied under a tree disguised as Robin Hood.
I won't even ask you why a tree should be disguised as Robin Hood.
Just as well.
But in that case, where is the real Robin Hood?
Robin Hood? He doesn't exist. Robin Hood's just a legendary figure.
Really?
And what's more, the Sheriff of Nottingham doesn't exist either.
Oh, don't I?
Of course not. So just drop that silly voice and be your natural self.
Aye, aye, Jim lad.
And with the Angus Prune tune, we end another edition of I'm Sorry, I'll Read That Again, which was written this week by Graham Garden, Peter Hutchins, Eric Idle, Peter Vincent and David McKellar. The voices you heard were those of Tim Brooke-Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, Joe Kendall and Bill Oddie, who also wrote the songs. The music was provided by Dave Lee with arrangements by Leon Cohen. I'm Sorry, I'll Read That Again is produced by Humphrey Barclay.
Would you believe it?
Well, seeing is believing.
Yes, and have you seen him?
Sure. Anyway, that's it until the same time again next week when John Otto Cleese will say once again with that charming smile of his, cheese?
Oh, come in, boy. Sit down now. What do I call you? Never mind, I'm a busy man. Look, I'm an agent. Who are you?
Beethoven, sir.
You'll have to change it. What have you got then? Is it commercial? If not, why not?
I've got a tune, sir. It's a song, and I've not got any words.
Is it R&B, folk, minuet, gavotte? Who cares? So let's hear it. Can you whistle?
Well, I brought along a few freunds to play it for you.
Good. Well, give us your song then. Come on, swing it. Let's have it.
Eins, zwei, drei.
Well, that's a load of old rubbish, isn't it? And mind you never can tell. Tchaikovsky does it. Why not you? Of course, the arrangement's wrong. What's in there?
20 violins, 10 violas, 8 cellos, 4 basses, and a brass section.
Try it on guitar. That's more like it. That's more like it. Now, jazz it up a bit. Come on, jazz it up. Give it a bit of rhythm. Ta-ta-ta-ta. That's good. It's good. It's good. It's coming. It's coming. Hey, I'll tell you what's wrong.
What?
The tune. Ta-ta-ta-ta. Try it going up. Try it going up.
Ta-ta-ta.
Ta-ta-ta-ta. Ta-ta-ta-ta. I like it. Yes, it's coming. It's coming. Wait a minute. I've got it. Ta-ta-ta-ta. Ta-ta-ta-ta. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Yeah, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Once again, the Ludwig van Proon tune spotlights the talents of Tim Brooke-Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, Joe Kendall and Bill Oddie. And here, towering under the microphone, is your very own, John Otto Cleese.
I'm sorry, I'll read that again. Again.
Oh, I love to be alone in the country.
John,
Yes?
I'm with you.
I love to be alone in the country.
But John, you brought me with you.
I didn't. You hid in the back.
But you must have noticed.
Not at all. It's a very large tandem.
But John, when we fell off going down the stairs, you must have seen me.
I thought you were a hitchhiker.
But I'm your wife. You must have recognized me.
I didn't marry.
Why not?
Well, because you were disguised as a cactus.
Oh, John, why don't you admit it? You don't love me anymore.
All right, I admit it.
John, once we had something that was pure and wonderful and good. What's happened to it?
You spent it all.
That's all that matters to you, isn't it? Money. I despise you. Do you hear me? I hate you. I don't know how I've been able to stand it. I suppose it's because I love you. I don't know. I do love you, John. I love you more than I can say. I need you, John. Please, John, don't look at photographs of nude women while I'm talking to you.
Oh, all right, but...
Don't beat about the bush.
Well, I was only looking for pheasants.
John, try to love me.
No, Mary, it's no good. You somehow managed to hurt everyone you love.
Well, I'll take the cactus skin off.
No, Mary, look. There's something I've been meaning to tell you.
What?
Cardinal Richelieu died in 1642.
All right, so Mother was wrong. But can't we forget the past? I mean, that's all history now. Don't let's dig it up again.
You never liked me being an archaeologist, did you?
I never said that.
You'd have been happier if I'd sharpened knives or sold ferrets.
Keep George out of this.
No. I'm not going to keep George out of this. If you had to have a lover, why did it have to be a ferret seller? Blasted ferrets all over the house for months. Why couldn't it have been the budgerigar man? At least budgerigars can sing beautifully. I can still remember waking up in the morning and hearing all those ferrets singing. It used to drive me mad. Always the same tune.
Well, that's all over now. Can't we forget it? I mean, couldn't we start all over again? I mean, go back and begin from the beginning.
I suppose we could try.
Please, John.
All right. Oh, I love to be alone in the country. Yes?
I'm with you.
Oh, I love to be alone in the country.
But John, you...
And now, after the singing postman, the singing policeman.
We're not all James Bonds in the force, you know. We policemen are only human, but every now and again something does come along what brings a little romance into our lives. And this is how it happened to me.
When a policeman's feeling bored, he just loves to sit and play at making faces with identikit. Well, I made a little face up the other day, and now she stole my heart away. Oh, my identikit gal, my identikit gal. I wish that she could be my pal, my identikit gal. Oh, I love her toothy lips and her crinkly hair, her tiny little eyes and her funny stare. She's got a scar upon her cheek that I love to kiss. Nobody could look like this. Oh, my identikit gal, my identikit gal. Well, I wish that she could be my pal, my identikit gal. Oh, well, if you think you've seen her, call 999, and I will apprehend her and make her mine. But just like all the other places upon my list, I don't suppose that she'll exist. Oh, my identikit gal, I need you, baby, my identikit gal. I wish that you could be my pal. I really love you, my identikit gal. Oh, my identikit gal. I'm telling you now, my identikit gal. Come on now, I wish that you could be my pal. Oh, yeah, 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 my identikit, my invented it, my identikit gal. Oh, yeah.
Hello?
It's time now for another in the series, Stories from Shakespeare, told by David Pushoff.
Hello, children. Now, gather round and I'll tell you all a tale. Once upon a time, and not so very long ago, there lived in a very cold place called Denmark a young fellow by the name of Hamlet. He lived with his mother, Elsie, and his wicked stepfather, Norman, in a great big palace called Elsie Noor. Now Hamlet was a good boy and loved his mother. But he was very jealous of his wicked stepfather, the King of Denmark, no less. And so, one day Hamlet decided to do away with his wicked stepfather. And that night he told his mother about it. She was astounded. Oi, oi, she cried. Is this my little boy? But Hamlet had made up his mind already. And so he cunningly got hold of some deadly, undetectable poison from the delicatessen on the corner and put it in a glass of wine. But who should drink the wine but his own mamma? What confusion! People running to and fro, as like as not. And Hamlet's girlfriend Ophelia jumping in the river. And did she have problems? So Hamlet picked up a sword with the poisoned point which was lying around and stabbed his wicked stepfather. But it just wasn't his lucky day. Hamlet accidentally scratched himself with the poisoned sword, and that was that. Well, children, next week I'll tell you the story of Macbeth, another murder story. And nobody murders stories like I do.
We are now interrupting the program with news of an unhappy event. We are deeply grieved to announce that tomorrow at 12 o'clock midday, the Earth is due to be destroyed by falling into the sun. First, the Prime Minister's reaction. The nation as a whole is taking the news calmly. Since the Earth is due to be destroyed at midday, tomorrow will be a day of mourning. For first reactions from Fleet Street, over to what the papers say.
Well, several of today's papers lead with the story of the world's destruction. Typical headlines are the Mirrors.
Wow, which bikini weather?
And the Express.
Save our royal family.
The Mail seizes on the return of Viscount Montgomery for its headline.
Montgomery flies back to front.
Owing to the news of the world's impending destruction, the BBC announces a change in its programmes for tonight. At 9 o'clock, the Prime Minister will address the nation, if he can be found in time. And now, in place of our advertised programme 24 hours, we have a special programme, 12 hours.
And first of all, we've been asked to ask you not to panic.
Help, I'm panicking.
And now, over to Washington.
Well, there's been very little reaction to the news so far, and life goes on as usual. Complete chaos everywhere. One quick flash, biting satirist Maud Saul died laughing at the news of the world's destruction. Later, fellow biting satirist Lenny Bruce died laughing at the news of the death of Maud Saul.
Well, while we were hearing that report, a listener has rung in to say that he's just heard the last cuckoo. And now, Darcy Fitch.
When he heard the news today, walking down Tottenham Court Road with his banner, Mr. Fred Peer, chairman of the End of the World is at Hand Society, died of shock.
And now, sport. Over to the president of the FA.
The two semi-finals of the FA Cup have been brought forward and will be played at 8 o'clock this evening. The final will be played at 10:30 tomorrow morning. There'll be no extra time.
The Grand National will also be held tomorrow morning. Mrs. Mirabel Topham had this to say.
I do hope there'll be a large crowd tomorrow, as this may very well be the last Grand National at Aintree.
In response to the many thousands of anxious telephone calls, the BBC wish to announce that none of the Archer family will be killed in tomorrow's Holocaust. Except Walter Gabriel.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
And now over to the newsroom for the latest developments.
The Queen has sent a telegram of sympathy to the Chinese people. Sir Bernard Lovell repeated tonight that there will be no survivors tomorrow. The Civil Defence is appealing for more blankets. And that is the end of the news. I'm sorry, I'll read that again. That is the news of the end. There are plenty of songs about the joys of eating. But how about a song to help people slim? Here from Bill Oddie and the Boys is a cautionary tale.
Uncle Henry bought himself some teeth the other day, and he was so excited he got carried right away. He was chewing day and night, chomping everything in sight. He even ate the furniture and half a dog as well. I tell you, Uncle Henry soon put on an awful lot of weight. He was up to 16 stone, and as a rule he's only 8. When we rolled him on the scale, its little face went pale, and a tiny voice inside was heard to murmur, very faint, take it off, take it off, take it off, take it off. No, you can't be seen in public, not like that. Now I know it may seem ruthless, but you were better toothless. Now everybody says you're far too fat. You're far too fat.
potions built on lemon juice and stains. And when she needed stuffing, instead of eating muffin, she'd have one of those rules that when you bite into the crust, there's nothing. But our Lulu dropped our diet sheet and went astray. She started eating bread and buns and grew a bit each day. Till one night in her dance, she showed such a vast expanse that as she went to drop the lot, she heard a fella say, "Take it off! Take it off! Take it off! Take it off! Oh, you can't go out in public, not like that. Now, blimey, look at you. You've got enough for two. And everybody says you're far too fat. All together, take it off! Take it off! Take it off! Oh, you can't go out in public, not like that. You can keep your mashed potato. Just give me my vibrator. 'Cause everybody says you're far too fat. Everybody says you're too fat.
Set among the desolate Yorkshire moors stands an ominous cluster of grey stone buildings, whose walls have withstood the ravages of the centuries. From this grim fortress, none have ever been known to escape. For this is Grimbody Keep, one of England's largest public schools. This is the setting for today's classic story, Tim Brown's Schooldays.
Grimbody Keep. What happy memories I carry in my heart of that grey, moss-covered, crumbling ruin, the headmaster, Mr. Thatcher. I recall the friends of my youth who stood beside me in times of trouble and never lifted a finger to help. Oh, and I remember Betty, the milkmaid, who was so dear to all of us boys, though only half price to the masters. One of my happiest recollections is of cooking by an open fire till I was quite done on both sides. Oh, golden memories indeed. But let me take you back with me to that moment long ago when I stood, a fresh-faced, apple-cheeked young lad, before the gates of Grimbody Keep for the very first time. I said.
You rang, sir? I had to. The bell was broken. I am Tim Brown, the new boy. Well, step inside, young...
He said.
...fellow. I have to keep the door shut on account of the wolves.
Surely there aren't any wolves out on the moors?
Bless ye, no, sir, they're inside. The headmaster keeps them for amusement. He sets them on the matron every now and again for a bit of a laugh.
Oh, I see. Are you one of the masters here?
Bless ye, no, sir.
Well, what is your position?
I'm usually hunched up like this. But first of all, you must go and see Mr. Thatcher, the headmaster. You like him. He's a regular gentleman, takes castor oil twice a day. Now, come here. This is his study, so in you go and good luck.
Come in, whoever you are. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha.
He chortled.
Come in, dear boy.
He said.
Come in.
He repeated.
Shut the door behind you. We don't want Brutus to escape, now do we?
Is Brutus your dog?
No, he's the Latin master. Well, what a clean-limbed, healthy young lad you are, to be sure. But we'll soon put that right. Now then, what's your name?
Tim Brown, sir.
Brown, eh? Well, I'm sure we'll be chums. You'll live in room 13. It's a single room, but I'm afraid you'll have to share. Still, I'm sure you won't mind. The other 25 don't.
And so began my first day at school. The boys made me very welcome, and 2 of them took my bags upstairs, but I soon got them back and put them on again. That night, I lay awake looking through the dormitory window and wishing I was inside. Oh, next morning it was time for our history lesson with old Mr. Totteridge, who was a little hard of hearing.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning, sir.
can't have arrived yet. Well, never mind. I'll carry on without them. Yes, that's what I'll do. I'll carry on. That's it. Yes, I'll carry on without them. Yes.
Please, sir, we're here.
Oh, there you are. I was going to carry on without you. You know. Well, today we're going to I was going to carry on without you. Well, I was, yes. But as you're here, I won't bother. Goodbye.
Sir, tell us about William the Conqueror.
Yes. Now there was a great lady. I knew her. You know. She was a very good. She was a very absolutely marvelous. She was a very good friend, a friend of mine. And I was taking her. I will remember. I was taking her to day. I was going to take her to dinner one night. And I'm not boring you, am I?
It was 2 hours later when we filed out of the classroom. It took us that long to get through the bars. As we returned to schoolhouse, a freckled-faced young lad took my elbow and ran off with it. I caught up with him and he introduced himself.
Hello, my name's Dobkins Minor. You must be Tim Brown, the new boy. Let's slope off to the tuck shop. I expect Mrs. Greystone will be glad to meet you.
Wizard, come on!
The school tuck shop was a wonderland to my youthful gaze, full of marvellous sweeties who sat around in their underwear. Mrs. Greystone produced 2 huge cakes, 1 chocolate and 1 strawberry. I had a bit of the chocolate, and Dobkins had a bit of the other. Suddenly the door burst open and a tall, rugged boy with dark, evil hair and a broken voice swaggered in. It was Flashman, the school bully.
Sir, what do we hear? What's your name, Pipsqueak?
Tim Brown.
Can you fight, Brown?
No, but I can see red.
That's not very funny.
Well, I'm rather nervous.
Look here, Flashman. I'm not going to let you hit Brown before my face.
All right, I'll hit your face first. Come on, Brown.
No, fighting is wicked.
No, it isn't.
It is the way I fight. Take that.
Oh! Oh, you bit my nose. That's not fair. Right, you're in for a good hiding. I'll put you in the broom cover. They'll never find you there.
Now come along, boys. I made some tea, so why don't you have a cup and say you're sorry? Believe me, when you tasted it, you will be sorry.
All right, I apologize, Brown.
With that, Flashman spun on his heel, drilling a neat hole in the floor, through which he fell. I was moved by his apology, but something he said as he left made me doubt his sincerity.
I'm a liar.
But no sooner had he left than a red-faced, well-built man entered. I knew at once that this was none other than Rudyard Kipling. But I was wrong.
Good heavens, it's Mr. Trimfettle, the games master.
Yes, I say, hello, Mrs. G. I say, I'm sorry to bother you and all that. But I'm a little short of cash. I wonder, could I touch you for 5 bob? No, you see, the trouble is, we're playing Harrow, or rugby at Rugger, or soccer on Saturday. Or it may be cricket. Anyway, point is, we haven't got a team, you see. And I'm in a terrible state, and I just don't know what to do with myself.
Please, sir.
Don't say it.
I can play Rugger.
Can I say that's first rate? Now, look. No, don't laugh. Now, look. I suppose we'll need 1 or 2 other chaps to make up the team.
Rugger teams don't wear makeup, sir.
No. Well, I know so little about games. I did extra singing when I was at school.
and so we started at once. It was quite a job, as most of the team had never played before, but I hit upon the ruse of putting itching powder in their beds, and they were soon up to scratch. Before the match, Flashman gave the team a pep talk.
All right, you snivelling bunch of lily-livered poltroons. We'll be playing on our own home ground, so that's an advantage to us, especially with regard to the landmines. Now try to lure them down the pavilion end as much as possible. They can't possibly find their way back through the swamp. Well, when you meet Harrow on the field, we're going to go out there and lick them. I know it's unhygienic, but it's only polite. All right, lads, go out there and give them all you've got. Ah, Headmaster and Mr. Totteridge.
Well, Flashman, I must say they look a very fine team. Don't you think so, Mr. Totteridge?
What? Oh, yes, a very fine team.
There they go.
Come on, School.
Show them what you're made of. That's not what I meant, Dobkin.
What's happening?
Come on, School.
Come on, School.
Look at Tim Brown. Look at him go.
It's all right, he'll be back in a minute.
Yes, there he is. He's got the ball. He's beaten one man. He's beaten two. My word, he knows how to use that cane.
He's running down the wing.
What's happening?
It's an open goal.
Shoot, man, shoot.
Shoot.
He scored.
He scored. Well done. Well done.
Well done.
He scored, Mr. Totteridge. He scored.
Has he? Hooray! Funny game, Canasta.
What a match it was, with the cheers of the crowd roaring in our ears. Our 11 played like 50. Actually, we were 69. After it was over, we were all assembled in the main hall, and after we had been put together again, the headmaster swept in through the door and, putting aside his broom, stepped onto the platform. He was an imposing figure in his mortarboard and gown, a daring low-cut number in gold lame.
Boys, I'm very proud to be standing here before you. I never thought I'd sober up in time. Today we won the game by 57 goals to 0. A magnificent effort. Pity the other team didn't turn up, but there it is. Hero of the moment is, of course, our captain, Tim Brown. And now we'll all sing the school song. I see Mr. Totteridge is at the piano, looking immaculate in white tie and tails. Insofar as the piano can look immaculate in white tie and tails. Boys, let us sing.
Angus Prune tune brings to an end another edition of I'm Sorry, I'll Read That Again, which was written this week by Tim Brooke-Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, Eric Idle, and Bill Oddie. Those taking part were Tim Brooke-Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, Joe Kendall, and Bill Oddie, who also wrote the songs. The music was provided by Dave Lee, with arrangements by Leon Cohen, and the whole show was produced by Humphrey Barclay. No flowers, by request. So that's it until the same time next week, when once again John Otto Cleese will say in stentorian tones.
In stentorian tones.
It is a city of fragrance and romance. It is a sun-baked tapestry of sights and sounds, of strange, haunting music, of laughter and leaders of men. It is the pulsating heart of a new nation. It is magic. It is mystery. It is Liverpool.
And I'm speaking now to Liverpool's oldest citizen. We're very lucky to have him with us tonight.
Good evening.
See what I mean? How long have you lived in Liverpool?
Oh, yes, I know Liverpool. I ought to. I've lived there all my life.
Oh, how long long's that?
94 years.
You've lived there for 94 years.
Have I?
Well, yes, you just said so.
Oh, I wouldn't know about that. I'm 94, you know. You forget things like that. Where am I? Of course, I've got a lot of memories.
What about?
I've forgotten. I do remember the post office catching fire as if it were yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Oh, was it? Mind you, I saw William Pitt riding through the streets after Waterloo.
Good heavens, you can't have been alive then.
Oh, yes, I was. It's all coming back to me now. I was fighting for the Roundheads. That's when I waved. That's when I waved to the Pilgrim Fathers. My mother was a Pilgrim Father.
But that's impossible.
Well, I'd just given up my job as a page boy to Charles II as I was getting on a bit, you know. No, I remember, Chaucer.
Chaucer?
Yes, I remember Chaucer writing about the plague in school magazine. I remember Ethelred telling me he didn't like that because...
Oh, come now, really, I mean...
Ah, them was the good old days. My mother was a little amoeba swimming about.
Wait a minute, you hadn't been born then.
Well, I wouldn't know. You forget things like that when you get to my age.
But what about Liverpool?
Oh, turn right at the traffic lights and carry straight on.
Once again, the Angus Prune tune brings to the microphone Tim Brooke-Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, Joe Kendall and Bill Oddie, with a show designed to make the old folk remember the good old days and make the young wish they'd never been born. So here is the daddy of them all, John Otto Cleese, to say...
I'm sorry. I'll read that again. Again. Whack.
Liverpool.
Isn't that where the Dockers live?
I've never been there in my life.
Sorry, madam.
Yes, well, so let's be on our way. Dawn.
Yeah?
Dawn, May the 5th. And the BBC's outside broadcast unit's hovercraft takes off from the roof of Broadcasting House. 30 minutes later, our helicopter is on its way. Beneath us, we can see the patchwork quilt of
Humphrey Berkeley's bed.
Now, as we travel on to the northwest, we pass over the dreaming spires of Golders Green and the industrial chimneys of Oxford. On we go over the dockyards of Birmingham and the storm-tossed beaches of Wolverhampton. Over the green hills of Cheshire and out across the mighty river. What a mighty river. Till at last we hang suspended above the streets of
Hong Kong!
Liverpool. Beneath us, the city still slumbers. But as we bring our helicopter down to land in the main square, the inhabitants begin to stir.
Shut that ruddy engine off!
And so our walk begins. The streets are quiet now, but in a few seconds they'll be filled with the bustle of morning traffic.
1, 2, 3.
Many of us must wonder how Liverpool got its name.
Yes, well, I can tell you that, of course. It's very interesting. Many years ago, Liverpool, known as Birmingham, the Shrimping family of English ancestry became British royal houses in the time of Charles I. Now, they decided to each family had a small breeding forest known as Arbor or Aber, and since the English were Hamster's Dean, the aristocrats changed its name to Chipping Norton. But the locals couldn't remember this, so early in the 18th century, or maybe late in the 19th century, it changed it again, this time to Laver, meaning tatty, Paul, meaning head, a still around fashion in London wigs. Hence Laver Paul. Over the years, it became corrupted, and of course still is. By 1920, the name Laver Paul had been changed slightly to look like it's Belfast, which is terms continually mispronounced as Ball Feast, Ball Fest, so on, that sort of thing, and eventually Liverpool.
By now, the city is wide awake.
You surprise me.
Ah, the big city, the poetry of civilization. People walking, people rushing, people driving, people pushing to work, to work. Busy city, busy city, busy city, busy city, busy city, busy city.
What was that?
Well, that was me going, busy city, busy city, busy city. It's the poetry of industry. People, houses, docklands, life. Oh, what magic is here.
Well, there's David Nixon at the Hippodrome.
Oh, have you no soul?
No, only cod
This city. This city is humanity.
I'm sorry, I thought it was Liverpool.
The trouble with you is you've got no romance.
Yes, it's true. I'm just an ugly little thistle, tossed on a stream of loneliness, lost in a whirlpool of cynicism. I have seen too much and lived too long. The moon shines and moves me not. The spring comes and stirs me not. Ah, me, I'm cold. Is he gone yet?
Yes!
Meanwhile, back in Liverpool, whilst the poor overworked citizens scramble off to another boring day at the office, we can wander around and see the sights. Building sites, bomb sites, pausing only to chalk the obvious remark on the Paul McCartney Memorial Obelisk. We continue towards the Liverpool football ground, and over there is the ground of their great rivals, Everton, only a stone's throw away, and also within easy gunshot. What a city this is! Over there, a street vendor shouts his ware.
His where?
And listen, a Liverpool mother calls her child.
We only have to hail a passerby to hear the voice of Liverpool, that characteristic dialect known throughout the world.
Sure, now, back around, kiss the blarney stone to be sure.
Yes, Liverpudlians are a most colourful lot. Black, brown, yellow. And there is, of course, a large floating population. 2 or 3 are fished out of the river every morning.
Well, now, for the real down-to-earth facts about Liverpool, there's only one place to go. The Tourist Bureau. Liverpool has a great problem with tourists. It hasn't got any. We found the tourist office down a dark alley in the heart of the notorious Dockland area. Brushing away the cobwebs, we pushed a junior researcher through the door.
Hello? Is anybody in?
Halt! Who goes there?
Excuse me.
Don't move another step or I shoot!
I'm looking for the Tourist Bureau.
Unlikely story! We haven't had a tourist in here for 3 years, and the last one got away with the petty cash.
I'm unarmed.
In this area, you must be mad.
I am a tourist, honestly.
Ah.
Well, look at me.
Well, I'm not taking any chances. Throw down your bucket and spade, keep your hands on your head, and stand in that corner. Now, what do you want, stranger?
I'm looking for somewhere to stay.
Well, try Blackpool.
No, here.
Well, you'll probably get him along the front. That's the line between Liverpool and Everton. You should find an empty room there. The houses have been evacuated. I know. Well?
Well, can't you tell me what I can see in Liverpool?
I don't know what anybody sees in Liverpool.
How do you attract people?
I look sexy in front of my eyebrows. All right, then I'm going to sleep.
Aren't you going to try to persuade me to stay?
Well, very well. Please stay. Now get out.
No, I still don't know anything about Liverpool. Haven't you got a brochure?
Yes?
Well, can I have one?
No, we've only got one.
Well, can I read it?
Oh, I doubt it. I've got terrible writing. Tell you what, I'll read it.
Very well, go on. Well, out loud.
Oh, all right. And if this doesn't persuade you, I shan't let you stay here. Right then. Come to Liverpool.
Is that all?
Oh, difficult, aren't you? Bask on miles and miles of sparkling sun-drenched Dockland for the holiday you'll never forget. Never. Wine and dine in comfort, and then come here. Travel by British mail train at special rates, 4p for 2 ounces and 3p for each additional hour. Or from Victoria by coach. Horses changed every 20 miles. Brighton in a week, Birmingham in a fortnight, Liverpool within the month. Avoid the rush for the sun, come to Liverpool. Right, that's enough of this rubbish. Now get out. No, stop. Come here, look. Look, I'm sorry if I was rather rude. But I enjoy it. And besides, I was nervous, you see. I don't know how to say this, but I've never had a real tourist come to see me.
Ah.
Now, be honest, are you really a tourist?
No, I'm from the BBC.
Well, be that as it may, off we went in search of the thing that Liverpool is most famous for. And a few minutes later, we heard it. The sound of the beat.
Hello, hello, hello. I'd like you to come along with me, sir, if you don't mind.
Why?
Well, you've got such lovely eyes.
Half an hour later, I found myself in the Liverpool dock. They tried me, and quite enjoyed it. And I was able to get off with a caution.
Want a good time, dearie?
She took me down to the river just in time to catch sight of the Liverpool ferry.
I'm a little fairy prince.
Yes, well, never mind. There by the waterside, we found the picturesque figure of the Liverpool ferryman. What a romantic sight he is as his cry echoes through the mists of the morning. And as he rows his little cargo of 48 people, 4 lorries and a bus across the shimmering river, we forget our cares, and he brings a little of Venice here to the heart of the docklands as he sings a song of romance.
Ferry cross at Armazé, come and pay your fare. Though there's rubbish in the water, there's amore in the air. The cranes are gently swaying, and the fog is thick above. Now is the time for all good whackers to fall in love. For 20 years now I have rowed this ferry of love. How well do I remember the day when she stole my heart and my wallet. But she was fascinating, with her skirt 6 inches above her knee and her belt 12 inches below her waist. Call me Frederick, I said. Call me anytime, she said. After 7:30, just ask for Noreen. Noreen, Noreen. How the name echoes down the Mersey tunnel of my mind. The happy hours we spent together were 20 minutes. She nibbling her chip butty and me nibbling her as I drank tea from her Wellington boot. And in the distance, the music of 1,000 transistor radios. I can see her now. Quick, where shall I hide? So ferry cross the Mersey, and when your birth is near, it's fabulous, see honey, and put too much of here. So hurry, Virgin Clapton, and Western ferry me back to Liverpool, 'cause my heart is there. Carry me back to the land of Silver Black, 'cause my heart is
Well, here we are in the docklands. Of course, it has been said many times that this is a rough area at night.
This is a rough area.
But during the daylight hours, it is a place for children. The dockyards are a wondrous playground for the little people. The poetry of children. Look, 3 little girls playing hopscotch.
With real scotch.
Ah, children. Children laughing. Children singing, brought up on the sound of music. Mary Poppins, Goldfinger, and Carry On Nurse. And from their first years, their parents have impressed upon them a feeling of rhythm. And now, on street corners, all around us, groups of toddlers sing the songs they've picked up from their fathers.
4 and 20 virgins went down to
Let's hide now and listen to the silvery tones of innocent voices.
1 and 1 and 2 is 2 if you've never been kissed, and to you!
Filling the air with song. Little voices echoing the joys of youth.
But of course there is one Liverpool sound that strikes dread into every heart. This voice has the fascination of a siren. We trace it to a ramshackle, broken-down old hut, and we tremble as we stand there and read the sign outside.
What does it say?
Youth Club. This is a social centre run by Father Seamus O'Shillelagh, but known round here as Knick-Knack the Paddywhack. He's a man devoted to the cause of taking violence off the streets and bringing it into the youth clubs. Inside, the members are busy rehearsing an evening of traditional Liverpool folk music.
She loves you, yeah. That's a lovely old song, lovely old Liverpool folk song.
Are you free?
Well, I'm pretty broad-minded. Top of the afternoon to you. Down, boy, down, boy. Have you met Brutus?
No, Brutus.
Don't worry, he won't bite you, will you, Brutus?
Not if you say so, sir.
Father Shillelagh, you've got a pretty tough group here. Is there any truth in the fact that you yourself are a discharged convict?
No. I escaped. See, I look at it this way. You say, I'm as it were the shepherd, and I've got an unruly flock, so it takes a good crook to organise them. Hey, come here. Would you like to meet a real, genuine social misfit?
Oh, I say, that's awfully kind.
Not at all. I always keep one handy just in case the BBC drops in. Now, here we are. This is Geoffrey. Say hello now, Geoffrey.
Hello, Geoffrey, now.
The simple soul. Tell the man your story.
Well, I've never had an happy life.
Oh, what a shame.
My mother worked in a circus as an elephant girl. I was born in a trunk.
Now, a trunk.
Oh, yeah. When mother had me, she can't have been more than 16, or they wouldn't have put father in goal.
In jail.
When I was 14, I found myself in an embarrassing position. So I got off.
No, you got off! You'll have us all put in jail.
So I got up. But too late. Now I'll always walk with a lisp.
Walk with a limp?
Now all the office girls go after me because they think that because I make these mistakes, therefore I'm easy to... Well, you know.
And you're not.
Yes, oh, I am.
Boy.
Oh, you may laugh. Go
on, laugh.
But at this moment, a dramatic hush fell on the hall. The youth club concert was about to begin. An evening of genuine, homebred Liverpool folk entertainment.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sunday night at the Liverpool Pandemonium. Yes, it's me, old tatty head Tommy Tarborough here again. Hey, listen, have you heard about the Beatles? You haven't? My goodness, you must have led a sheltered life. Thank you, hey. Oh yes, have you seen this? Have you seen this morning's paper? You have? Oh good, I thought I'd lost it. Thank you. No, seriously though, it says here, famous minister stoned on visit to Liverpool.
I'm not surprised. I've never seen that particular minister sober. Thank you, thank you. No.
But he's doing all Jimmy Tarbuck's old jokes.
And aren't Jimmy Tarbuck's jokes old?
That's true.
It's folk humour. They've been doing it for years up here.
Well, now we'll be having some genuine folk stripping later on. But right now, Tatty Ed's making his last appearance at the Liverpool Pandemonium. Here he is, 94-year-old Con Dodd.
Hello, missus. Ha ha. Are you diddling? Are you? Oh. Ha ha. How are you, sir? And how are you, sir? Feeling merry? And how's Mary enjoying it, eh? How tickle I am, how tickle I am, how tickle I am to be here on this rostrum tonight. Have you been tickle on the rostrum, madam? You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. Present this bag of prunes. By Jove. That should keep you going. By Jove. I feel sumptuous. You know, when I was a little diddy child, I used to think the Mersey Tunnel was a very large mouse hole. Ha ha. How did you know? Sat inside it for 3 weeks with a jam butty and a machine gun. I did. I got 3 trolley buses and a police car.
But of course, everyone knows that it is beat music and the Mersey sound that is the big business in Liverpool. The Liverpool sound is the sure passport to success. And each week, trainfuls of southerners come up so that they can be taught the real Liverpool sounds.
I-E-I-O-U.
I-E-I-O-U. Good. Now, boys, let's all say, oh, I think it's fab, you know, don't you, whack?
Oh, I think it's fab now, don't you, whack?
Oh, no, give it them again, Cedric. Now, listen.
Oh, I think it's fab, you know, don't you, Whack?
Got that? Oh. Now, let's all try it.
Oh.
Better. And the whole thing again.
Oh. I think it's fab, you know.
Never mind, let's see what you remember of last week's lesson. Humorous rejoinders for pop musicians when questioned by the press. Now, Andrew.
Yes, miss?
What would you say if I said to you, I hear your latest record is selling like hot cakes?
Golly, that's absolutely super.
No. Tell him, Cedric, your record's selling like hot cakes.
That's right, folks. Now available at all good bakeries.
Good. Now, here's your homework for today. Cedric is going to tell you a genuine Liverpool joke. Listen carefully.
Well, you know, there was this tatty fellow with a grotchin and groove and his bread and that, and there was a whacker with bung and a brass saddle him, so he says, why do you not tat him right off? So he says, you know, she's gonna kill you, you know. He says, what? She says, what? With his titty kid and stood right ways on the multipass of his brass saddle, man, you must be daft.
And now I want you all to learn that and tell it to me next week. And if anyone can find out what it means, please tell me.
Sure.
Please.
But no visit to Liverpool would be complete without a quick visit to a beat club.
Was that quick enough?
Get back in there.
No, please don't make me. I'm scared.
Go on, get in there.
Well, here we are in one of the most famous... Be quiet, please! Please, I'm trying to do a broadcast! This is the best of days! Let me out! Oh, well, thank goodness. We've managed to find a quiet little place here. I'll just tell you a bit about the Mersey sound, which is so called because when the locals first heard it, they cried out, Mersey! The oldest clubs are the Cave, the Pothole, and the Beat Oven. The Cave is now closed, or rather sealed off, but the other two are still going strong, and this is the Pothole's 4th year and the Beat Oven's 5th. So now, let's get back and join the dancing.
Into
place that I want to be, and that's the town they call Liverpool. Why not come and join me? We've got room to do. Hey, we've got so much money, we don't know what to do. Hey, people here have got it made. Everyone gets on the hit parade in the town they call Liverpool. Why do you sigh to go traveling, girl? I stay in Liverpool and see the world. Everton wonderful. All the other teams, gal, might as well get up. Let them come, we'll beat them all. There's only one place when it comes to football. That's the town they call Liverpool.
So as the sun sinks down over the harbour like a gold disc over a silver Rolls Royce, we bid farewell to this magic city, this miracle of modern civilization, this sublime melange.
Oh, shut up! Bye-bye, Liverpool!
So the Angus Prune tune brings to an end another edition of I'm Sorry, I'll Read That Again. The voices you heard were, as usual, those of Tim Brooke-Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, Joe Kendall and Bill Oddie, and this week the entire script and the songs were written by Bill Oddie on his Todd. Which is a very uncomfortable place to write a script. Well, that was only put in as a gag, because assisting Bill Oddie with the writing was Eric Idle. The music was provided by Dave Lee, with arrangements by Leon Cohen, and the whole show was produced by Humphrey Barclay. Which explains a lot. So that's it, apart from a final message from John Otto Cleese.
Eat a rhubarb tart a day.